Happy Thursday, Sooner Nation. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge, where we are a little over 48 hours away from the primetime matchup between the Tennessee Volunteers and the Oklahoma Sooners, one that nationally people are talking about. Locally, it's been the talk for really years, since OU has said they're going to be moving to the SEC, and now it's here. We are here, and the matchup that everyone's been waiting for, and one since the 2023 recruiting class came out, was a matchup that people have been waiting for, and that's at the quarterback position with these two teams. Nico Iamaleava versus Jackson Arnold. Two guys from that class. You look at that class, guys. You had Nico, you have Jackson Arnold, you had Dante Moore, and then you have, obviously, the one I'm leaving out, which was Archie Manning. But that class was an elite quarterback class, and now these guys are actually making plays on their teams, and we're going to see two of them in action Saturday at the Palace on the Prairie, and I can't wait for it, guys.
Yeah, Nico Iamaleava, number 2 quarterback in the 2023 class. Jackson Arnold, number 4 quarterback in the class. Both 5 stars going head-to-head. For Nico, first true road test of his career. I mean, the other 2 road tests he's had so far were considered neutral sites against Iowa, down in Orlando for the bowl game, and then against NC State. That was a neutral site, even though it was somewhat of a home field for North Carolina. But it's the first true SEC road test against a program. It's playing their first SEC game. It's everything you could ask for in that matchup. I mean, for Nico and the Vols, they have the number 2 offense in the country right now, blowing out everybody they play, looking like, you see it from the preseason rankings. They were 15. Now they're number 6 after 3 weeks. There's a reason for it. So it's going to be a lot for Oklahoma's defense to slow down Nico and the Vols. And then for Jackson Arnold on the flip side, has to get something going. First 3 games have been not good for the former 5-star quarterback out of Denton Guyer. And he's going to have to step up because like it's the biggest game of his career for Nico, it also is for Jackson Arnold, game 1 in the SEC.
Yeah, you guys mentioned the other guys that were recruited in that class. I mean, I think specifically Arch Manning, Nico, and Jackson Arnold all being in the SEC, their careers may be linked for a while. And you'll be talking about down the road, even in NFL, like these guys were the same class, and you'll almost be comparing it. And that's just what's going to happen. Nico is a physical specimen at quarterback. 6'5", prototypical, unbelievable arm, strong arm. I think he's gotten a lot better since he came out of high school as far as his accuracy. He's throwing the ball really good. With Heupel's offense, I think that's where the advantage is at right now with Nico compared to Arnold. Is Nico's had a consistent quarterback coach and a consistent offensive guy with him. Jackson Arnold, we all know it's a new coordinator this year, changing the offense a little bit from Levy's. And so I think that's probably, if you want to say, I think maybe could that have slowed down Jackson Arnold's progress right now? You could say that it has. Also, the fact that he hasn't really had a consistent offensive line yet. That's probably the biggest issue with Jackson Arnold, I think, right now, is he has no consistency on the O-line. Maybe they're going to start getting guys healthy, and then we will see a different Jackson Arnold on the field. We'll see. But I do think out of the 2 quarterbacks so far, Nico's had more consistency in his career, which has probably led to better play. They're both unbelievable talented quarterbacks. Who's going to get the best of this game? We'll see. I think the thing about Oklahoma with Nico, Brent Venables will throw some stuff out there he has not seen before. You can say what you think he might throw out there. He'll throw something different. He is going to try to confuse Nico. He's very good at it. He does that with young quarterbacks, so that's what I would expect from Oklahoma. And then Jackson Arnold's going against a really good defense himself, so it's going to be a great game.
Something that I'm going to watch for from both of these QBs is how are they going to utilize their legs against their opposing defenses. Jackson Arnold, we've seen it through the first few weeks. His legs have helped out this Oklahoma offense when the run game has been struggling. It's clearly something that you would expect Tennessee to game plan for, is expect some Jackson Arnold run, expect Arnold to try and use the dual threat ability that he has. And then with Nico, will Oklahoma choose to QB spy him? Will Oklahoma play maybe some more man coverage while they spy him? Or will Oklahoma play a lot of zone in this game? Both of these QB's legs are going to play a big factor, I think, in this game. And really, at times when it's needed from Jackson Arnold or Nico, who's maybe going to be able to step up on that 3rd and 5, that 3rd and 6, and make that 5 or 6 yard run to help their team get that first time and continue a drive in which maybe their backs were against the wall or make that play. And Jason, you said it. Nico, since high school, has improved a ton throwing the ball. He still sometimes will overthrow wide receivers a little bit, but that's partially because of his 6'5" stature. He's so tall in the pocket. His arm release point is so high. And really, I think it is a super intriguing matchup, one that in which all the country is going to be watching on Saturday night is Jackson Arnold versus Nico. Which QB is maybe going to have the chance to have their imprint left on the national stage? And in which Jackson Arnold has been struggling early in the year when he has a chance to maybe prove a lot of the doubters wrong or the naysayers wrong through the struggles they've seen him had the first couple of weeks.
Well, listen, when you talk about the two guys, I'm going to throw some names from the past, guys, and I'm going to shock you with some of these names. To me, Nico, he can drop down sidearm like Bernie Kosar. Okay, he's got a little bit of Randall Cunningham in him. If you're going old school, if you're going modern day guys, there's one guy that I compare him to, and I am not saying he's going to be this guy. I think he reminds me a lot of C.J. Stroud. He can use his legs, but he is going to beat you with his arm, guys. He's going to roll out, he's going to extend plays, and he's going to look to get the ball down the field. He is not just going to take off like a Jalen Hurts type. He reminds me of C.J. Stroud a little bit, okay? And I'm not saying he's there yet, okay? I'm just saying what he reminds me of. On the other side, to me, the scales already tipped in Nico's favor, guys. And what I mean by that is you look at the guys around Nico, I mean, the scales kind of tipped in his favor right now with the weapons he has around him. OU, and I'm not here just to defend Jackson Arnold, but what he's had to go with has not been pulling out of the same cupboard that Nico's had. Now, will Jackson Arnold have some of his dudes back this week? That's something to keep an eye on. The disappointing thing for me with Jackson Arnold so far, guys, you go to the Arizona game, there was a wow play on the rollout where he hit Nick Anderson. The Farouk pass this year on the opening series with the guy draped on his legs and he throws an absolute dot for 47 yards. Outside of that, there hasn't been any plays where you were like, man, and that's what people expected. They expected, man, look at these throws he's making. They haven't. I think part of it, though, has been who he's been with. I think they get some guys back. That's what you got to see this week.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, too. Jackson Arnold's been sacked 9 times. Talked about it earlier. How bad the Oklahoma offensive line has been. Inconsistencies there for Arnold, even at times where he does have time to sit in the pocket and make a play. He gets the happy feet. He feels that he does not have that trust. With Nico, I mean, he's only been sacked once. That was week 1 in Chattanooga. Since then, been clean. Also, for Jackson Arnold in particular, efficiency is going to be key. This Tennessee offense, again, they have the number 2 total offense in the country. They also have the number 2 total defense. Should be number 1 total defense if Ohio State would have played in week 3. You have to be efficient. You cannot have these 3 and outs where you're getting behind the sticks on 1st and 2nd down, and then you're having to try to make something on 3rd and 9 or third and long. I mean, you need 3rd and manageables. You need to put points up on the scoreboard. You need longer drives to try to give yourself a chance, and also got to be able to win the turnover margin. Oklahoma's won it every game this year so far. They're second in the country in the turnover margin. They've forced 10 turnovers. You can't be turning it over. Nico's had 2 interceptions, a pick 6 against NC State. Jackson Arnold, a pick 6 against Tulane. For both of these quarterbacks, you got to be able to limit the turnovers.
Yeah, and let me clear something up that I said earlier, and I'll be pretty quick with this, but I was by no means saying that Nico wasn't a good passer in high school. I'm just saying he's gotten even that much better. I mean, the guy was elite in high school, like unbelievable. but I think he's gotten even more precise, where he's even throwing guys open as a freshman. Doesn't happen very often. This game, to me, between the quarterbacks is going to come down to one thing and one thing only. Who throws the deep ball better on Saturday night? I think there's your difference maker. Heupel loves to go vertical. If Nico completes a bunch of that and they have explosive plays, they probably win the game. If Oklahoma gets explosive plays down the field, I think good chance Oklahoma wins the game. So I think watch that specifically. And Jackson Arnold's missed on a few of the last few games that he's had open. I know, Jeremy, you talked about weapons, but when you get a guy, I don't care who the receiver is, if you get a step and you got to deliver in this game Saturday night.
Yeah, Jay, you said what I was going to say. Who out of the QBs can connect on the deep ball more? Who can make the more explosive plays? Who can connect when opportunities are there? Because Oklahoma's offense, they have not been any sort of threat down the field at all through the first 3 weeks of the season. You would expect with Nick Anderson more than likely playing, with Andrew Anthony also potentially playing, that would open some things up for Jackson Arnold to potentially get the ball deep down the field to guys like Deion Burks or Brennan Thompson, who we have not seen shockingly catch a deep pass yet this year. So which one of those QBs, Jason, as you said, is going to be able to connect on the explosive plays more and potentially even have a massive play that could flip the momentum in the game?
Yeah, and hey, one thing to note, prior to this season, Nico was quoted as saying that he likes road games better. He's going to find out Saturday. Hopefully, OU makes it difficult, but this is, as Hunter said, the first true road test. And Jackson Arnold came to OU for games like this. So it's the matchup they've both been waiting for. It's the matchup you've all been waiting for, and it's here in a little over in 48 hours. If you're an OU fan or a Tennessee fan, either or, check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for your team's Shirt of the Month Club. Even Tennessee fans can use our code SURGE and get 10% off your first 3 months. Thanks for watching the content here at the Sooner Surge. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.